If the EU doesn't deport the thousands of young African men who've arrived in Lampedusa, then the game is up, Europe is finished, and so are we. Around 11,000 African men have arrived on the small Italian island in the last few days. They now outnumber the local population by almost 2 to 1. There can be no doubt that the overwhelming majority of people coming are economic migrants. There are even rumours of Russia's Wagner group of armed mercenaries in Africa helping to flood Europe with these illegal immigrants as a way of causing instability. And, let's be honest, it's working, isn't it? Germany and France are refusing to take any more new arrivals from Italy because they say that Italy isn't doing their bit. And despite Keir Starmer supposedly wanting us to be part of some kind of EU asylum scheme, well, we can't enter into that because the EU admits that their current policies are a total mess. One thing is for sure, though, the people of Lampedusa certainly are doing their bit. We can see footage of the amount of people arriving in recent days. That is an invasion, is it? Look at it. But of course, the Refugees Welcome Brigade will be quick to point out that these people are all fleeing war and persecution. People like this African transvestite talking to himself while he walks down the street. Or, as well, people like this chap washing his genitals in the town square's water fountain. For people who don't know exactly where Lampedusa is, I will show you on a map. It's that tiny little island that you can see there, which we're slowly zooming in on. It's that tiny little island there with the red dots around it. So it's east of Tunisia to the south of the Italian island of Sicily. So that's where they are. Now, the EU faces a choice here, and I think it should be using Lampedusa's geography as a weapon. So it can use Lampedusa as a holding pen for these illegal immigrants before deporting them. Or it could massively go out of its way and just release them into Europe so they could end up anywhere, and hundreds of thousands, if not millions more, will come because they realise that just getting to Lampedusa guarantees you entry into Europe. I mean, there is no question that Italy is, for many people coming from Africa, the gateway into Europe. But there is also no question that Britain is, for many, the final destination. It's not just the numbers that worry me, it's the internal conflicts that come with it as well. The question of deporting people or allowing them to stay divides Europeans, it divides Brits, but then the added conflict comes from groups of migrants who don't get along with each other for cultural or religious reasons, and we are seeing more and more of that. EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen apparently went to have a look at Lampedusa yesterday. Keir Starmer's meeting Emmanuel Macron, etc., etc. Politicians can talk all they want and look at the problem all they want. But the reality is, if the EU doesn't deport the thousands of people who've just arrived in Lampedusa, then Europe faces a total capitulation.